In today's episode, we're going to recap what happened yesterday, the final day of testimony this week in the Ingolf Truek case. And I'm going to tell you all about it. Interesting stuff right after the intro. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Rebecca, your host. This is Crafting in Crime Daily on Recap Life Trials. So all of you crafters out there have something to listen to while you're creating your masterpieces, whether it's diamond painting, cross stitch, whatever it is you like to do, watercolor paint, crochet. You can do it while you're listening. But don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Set your project down, hit the thumbs up button, and subscribe. So, also, if you are new to the channel and you're just tuning into the podcast, hey, subscribe. It's free. So we are going to talk about the continuation of the Ingolf Turek case. He likes to be called Harry. He was married to Katie McLean Turek for a very brief period of time, just a few months, when she is murdered. So Massachusetts is trying him for her murder, first-degree murder. Now he's claiming, hey, this was done in the heat of passion. So just find me guilty of manslaughter, please, basically. So we've heard a lot of evidence. You can go back and listen go through the playlist. Everything is color-coded through the thumbnail. Anyway, yesterday, half a day again. So there was a few hints as to what might be going on in this 200-year-old courthouse. No court today and tomorrow because of a judicial conference. But he mentioned that there were some staffing issues. They didn't have enough staff for them to go more than 4 hours a day, several days a week. And then later on, when he's admonishing the jury about this long weekend and not to watch any social media, and he also said regarding this or any other cases going on in that courthouse. So I don't know if Karen Reed is in this courthouse. I have no idea. But they are picking the jury in the Karen Reed case. So, I mean, I guess it's conceivable. And I could look it up, but, I'm not. You can look it up and tell me. There we go. All right. So the first person on the stand is the medical examiner. She's got 6 years experience, graduated from Howard University, and is now performing autopsies out of the Boston office. She described receiving the body, doing an external examination, noting dirt and debris. In the early stages of rigor mortis, which is a state of contraction that your body goes through after death. At one point you'll get, the longer it goes, you'll get stiffer and stiffer, and then you'll start to relax again. She described it as contraction and relaxation of the muscles, and that helps them with the timing of the death, but it's not really relevant in this case. But anyway, pretty well preserved body. So she was wearing pants that had 2 large rocks in them. So we get to see a picture of the rocks. Here it is. They do look pretty large. You see them right next to the pants. This is a 140-pound woman, 5'7". So probably, I'm going to say maybe a medium size, maybe a large size. Maybe not large, probably a medium size. So if you compare a medium-sized pants to these rocks, now she was asked, this medical examiner, by the prosecution, did you weigh the body with the rocks before you took pants off? She said, yeah, but she couldn't find it documented anywhere. So we couldn't subtract 140 from whatever she got because she didn't document it. I was kind of disappointed with that. She had no shirt on, and we'll address why that is later on. So they didn't show the rocks or the pants to us, but the jury did get to see the rocks and the pants. So then she described her external examination. She had, Katie had petechiae in the eyes. Now, it's a term we hear a lot. It's when if you look at someone's eyes and they're like bloodshot and they've got all these little burst blood vessels in their eyes. that can be caused by the lack of blood flow to the eyes, like somebody strangling you, or maybe you hung yourself. You'll see those blood. It's often seen with those two conditions. We know she didn't hang herself. So that's when, there's a decrease in blood flow to those eyes. Did I say that already? Anyway, she had multiple areas of bruising on both sides of her neck, and there was damage to the muscle, hemorrhage to the muscle tissues on both sides, front and back, left, right, and back. So someone had their hands all the way around her. And there were injuries to all four layers of the neck, the skin and everything going on down, and a fracture of the hyoid bone. The hyoid bone, I can't talk. The hyoid bone sits right above your larynx, up in here. It's not really useful for anything, and it's very fragile. It can break very easily, and it's not going to kill you if it's fractured. So that wouldn't have killed her. So she said, so all of this was indicative of force being applied all the way around the neck. Then she found a lack of blood flow to the brain. So there were hemorrhages in the brain due to lack of blood flow. And that would be caused by pressure on those carotid arteries that are running on both sides of the neck. She did a toxicology screen, and no drugs in her system. Caffeine, maybe she had some coffee or something, and alcohol. She didn't comment on the level of alcohol, except to say it was higher than what you would find, higher than you would be able to legally operate a vehicle. It was higher than that. But she says as far as whether she was actually intoxicated or not, she could not say, because different people respond differently to alcohol, and she could have had some sort of tolerance to alcohol as well. Then she found accumulation of fluid in the lungs. So at this point, I'm like, ooh, fluid in the lungs. Was she alive when he put her in that pond? That's what went through my mind immediately. And the prosecutor asked her, did this happen pre or post-mortem? In other words, before she died or after she died? And the medical examiner says, oh, no, I can't predict that. So that tells me, who knows? We don't know. So she wrote on the death certificate, cause of death, strangulation, manner of death, homicide, which just means death by another person. Instead, or it could have been suicide, death by herself, or natural causes. There's just only 4 choices, unknown. She chose homicide. Then we get a crime scene investigator who works for a separate company, but she's called out. She's actually retired, but she works for this company. And if they need her, she comes out, and they actually needed her. And she came out and she photographed the house. Beautiful house. Oh my God, gorgeous. And there was black spots on this wood floor. I think another witness mentioned these black spots on the wood floor. And there was quite a bit of argument to the point at sidebar, to the point where the judge had the jury step out. And what we found out about those black spots, now the jury doesn't know this, but what we found out about the black spots on the wood floor is that the police never tested them to see what they were. They're making this big deal. Oh, look, there's these black spots all over like there's a pattern of black spots that runs throughout the house, but they didn't test them. They didn't swab them. We don't know what it is. And the judge's like, okay, we're not going to get into black spots. She can say that she photographed black spots. They were there. That's it. She's not allowed to testify any further to black spots. I thought that was interesting. So now we have the supervising officer. Now, you'll remember at the end of the interview, the detective conducting the interview, once he got that confession, his first reaction was to go call his supervisor and say, hey, I think I know where her body is. So he gave him the directions that were given to him by Harry, and this supervisor goes out there with several other officers, and he follows the directions. The address is 1 Francis. Now, there was some confusion amongst some of the subscribers as to this Francis Street. The Francis Street address is one that Katie and Harry had looked to purchase. We're going to find out it was back in June of 2018 because the next witness is a realtor that talks about it. They actually lived on Valley Road, which was not far. It's in the same neighborhood, but they were looking to purchase. Just a few months after she moves in, they're looking to purchase another home because she wants a pool for the kids. And he was saying that they were looking at 3 Francis Street. Both of these houses were under construction at the time they looked at them. The house at 3 Francis Street would not have accommodated, the property would not have accommodated a pool, but he felt like the house at 1 Francis Street would. Like these things were not completed, they were just framed out. But he took them to see this property, and lo and behold, it's got this big ugly pond in front of it. And he's like, everybody asked me about the pond. So the supervisor, that's what the realtor said. So the supervisor, they all go out to this location, to 1 Francis, pull up in the driveway. Gorgeous house. You'll see it here's a picture of them with the driveway that goes up to this house. And you'll see the pond in the left side of the photographs I'm going to show you. You're going to see this pond. There is a lot of debris. No wonder he was all scratched to hell. You have to kind of wade through the debris in the photograph and you'll see, oh, there's some water back there. Yeah. So that's where they found her. He said it was very, very dark. Not much lighting at all. And he sees her in the pond. Actually, it's like he was on his way back. They each took like an area of the pond, perimeter of the pond to search. And as he was walking back from his area to the Francis Street address, he sees her body in the pond. So those rocks didn't have her way down to the bottom because he calls a dive team. He has to wait for the dive team to come out. They come out. She's about 10 to 15 feet out in the pond in 3 feet of water. Not a lot of water anyway. And he said body was very well preserved. There was some pruning of the skin. Like when your hands are really, really wet, you see the wrinkling of your skin. Her skin was like that. Then as they were searching the area, they noticed there was a black piece of clothing stuck on a branch. It turned out to be a black tank top, which could account for why she didn't have a shirt on. Probably as Harry, we can infer that as Harry was taking her into the pond, that shirt got caught on the branch and came off. So that was the testimony yesterday in this case. So it will resume again on Monday for 4 hours of testimony. That's all we're going to get on Monday. And he doesn't know about the rest of the week. But also on Monday starts the Lori Vallow Daybell case, which I will be recapping every day. And if Karen Reed gets a jury picked, we may have to recap that one as well. I will do my best. Whatever you guys want to do to help me out, it would be very much appreciated. I'm gonna try to get you guys recaps on those trials because they're very, very important trials. So have a wonderful day, everybody. Leave me a comment down in the comments. I will read them. Have a great day, everybody. Take care. Bye, and have a good weekend.